Welcome and thanks for joining us. This is Rick Seymour. I am delighted that you're on with this webinar tonight because we have a very special topic and a very special person. Nidra Sar, MS and CNS, is a board-certified licensed clinical nutritionist. She and her husband Gene live in southern Maine and are key coordinators in Shaklee. Nidra is a member of the Institute for Functional Medicine, the American College of Nutrition, and serves on the field science team for Shaklee Corporation. She conducts health seminars all over the U.S., is a frequent guest on telephone and webinar seminars, just like we have this time, and has contributed to a number of nutrition CDs for the field. Those that know Nidra well call her the Wisdom Weaver. She's an engaging speaker who enjoys turning complicated scientific principles into easily understood language that even I can understand. So I'm very excited Nidra's with us tonight, and she's going to talk about a very relevant topic, which is women's health. What do women really want? So Nidra, take it away.
Thank you, Rick. I want to thank you and Eldana, Star, and Larry, and all of your team for inviting me to be on this webinar. It's always a pleasure to talk about women's health. And you know, over the years, what's happened is I've spoken with women. I found out that there are three main categories that they really want. Whenever I say, what is your major health wish? They will always include at least one of these three. So I'm hoping everybody's kind of got their thinking caps on now, saying, well, what do you think she's talking about, or what do I want? So let's take a quick look. What they really want, number one, always in a list of 5 wants, it's always more energy. Many, many people want a trim and fit body, and I haven't found anyone yet, not even those who are 20s, 30s, 40-year-olds. Everybody wants to be active and healthy as they age. So what can we do to get that? That's the whole idea of this talk tonight. Some very, very simple strategies. Number one, in terms of energy, and we always say, are you a snapdragon? Have you lost your snap and your tail is dragging? I love these two little illustrations because they totally kind of reflect the way that sometimes people feel in the morning or even in the middle of the afternoon. So the question is, are you tired? Are you drained? Are you worn out? And do you roll over in the morning after hitting the snooze button and nap at your desk at 3 o'clock and then hit the bed by 8 o'clock? Has your get up and go gotten up and left? Well, there are certain thieves at work. They're called energy thieves. Some of those are being overfed but undernourished. We certainly see that as we walk into the malls or into, you know, any kind of public area. We're seeing many, many people are overfed but undernourished. Another energy thief is not getting enough sleep or not drinking enough water. Stress is a big one, and not enough exercise. So we're going to deal with these as we go through this presentation. In terms of energy, here's a lady who really reflects boundless energy. Star's Gardens are legendary, and I hope that everyone has an opportunity at some time to visit them. This lady is pushing wheelbarrows, as you can see, lifting rocks and placing those, probably got 40-pound bags of mulch and things like that that she's working around. How does she do it? Number one, she takes a little rest after some of that work, and I can see there that she probably has a cup of the energy tea, which is going to help her get up and go once again. But primarily what she's doing is she's using every morning the Shaklee 180 smoothie. We call that the best breakfast on the planet. And she's taking her Vitalizer strip. We'll talk about each of those right now. But what I like to refer to is the fact that you can have the healthiest meal. You could have it for breakfast, or some people like to use it as a trade-a-lunch. Trade your lunch for this wonderful Shaklee 180 smoothie, and you will get twice the benefits of anything that you could eat from the deli counter or from the restaurant, and all for a little over $5 a day for your meal and your supplements that are going to keep you healthy. So energy up, it comes from that very smoothie that I'm talking about. It's a non-genetically modified soy protein. And I know that many of you who are listening have heard of the fact, oh, soy protein, be careful of it. There's this, there's that. I want you always to to respond, are you talking about genetically modified soy, which is 87 to 93% of the soy crop, or are you talking about non-genetically modified soy? Are you talking about alcohol wash soy, which is the common use to break that soy apart, that soybean apart to get the protein isolate? Alcohol washing removes all of the good genistein and diadzine, the isoflavones in the soy protein that are protective against breast cancer, prostate cancer, and heart health, helping to keep your heart healthy. Shaklee uses a water wash process. It actually maintains all of those wonderful beneficial soy isoflavones. And while I'm at it, if you really want to keep those soy isoflavones and you are using soy milk, please choose the whole fat soy milk. The non-fat soy milk has had those protective isoflavones removed. So choose an organic whole fat soy milk. You're not adding a lot of extra calories, and the benefits of the genistein and diadzine are legendary. 24 grams of protein, it's low glycemic. That means it's not going to burn really, really quickly. That means it's going to keep your blood sugar stable. It has balanced carbohydrates and protein. There's no fat in the Shaklee 180 smoothie mix. And it's powered by leucine, that wonderful amino acid that protects our muscle and helps us to remove the fat. When we understand that 8% of our muscle mass can be lost every decade after the age of 40, we understand the importance of continuing to do our strength training, but also the importance of using something like leucine, which will help to keep our muscle and remove the fat. And of course, going along with the Shaklee philosophy, no artificial colors, flavors, sweeteners, or preservatives. The Vitalizer for women, Vitalizer Gold for people over 50, and, you know, for our distaff side, the Vitalizer for men is a strip of 6 little caplets or tablets that will give you 80 nutrients. Those have been clinically proven to create that foundation for bone, breast, and heart health, that foundation for immune health and reproductive health and digestive health, and that very, very important physical energy. You will find when you are using the Shaklee 180 smoothie and the Vitalizer that 3 o'clock slump is going to be something from your past. Also, we have the healthy hair, skin, and nails. So many times, the first thing people notice when they go on the lean and healthy is that their energy goes up, but next they see that their skin, their nails, their hair all seem to improve. How does all this work? Well, we don't have enough time to go into that here, but do ask the person who you look to for your Shaklee information about the Landmark study, that wonderful study of 3 different groups of people, those who never took a vitamin, those who took a daily, one-a-day kind of vitamin, and those who took Shaklee. When you hear about the results of that, you will be impressed. The second key for people is that trim and fit body. A number of years ago, I thought I wanted to find out, is there any benefit, would there be a scientific benefit of dropping 15 pounds? So I went to all my books and my internet sources and all the different kind of things, and I said, what are the scientific benefits? And I found 14 of them. The first one, of course, was increase in energy, and that is absolutely validated by the science. Things like high blood pressure numbers will drop. The blood sugar and insulin levels can drop in as little as 3 to 5 days. I can't tell you how many people have gotten their blood sugar and their insulin levels under control within a week or 2 of starting this program. The free-floating fats, the triglycerides, those come from the refined carbohydrates. Once you start to use this program, you're not going to have the cravings for all those refined carbohydrates, and that's going to be great because your triglycerides, which I feel is a very, very important marker for heart health, will absolutely come into line. The C-reactive protein, which is the marker for inflammation, it is at the root of diabetes, arthritis, any kinds of inflammatory conditions such as heart health, cancers. All of those things, Alzheimer's, all of those are, the risk for those goes up the more of the C-reactive protein that you have in your bloodstream. GERD and acid reflux, again, within a week, people can get rid of that purple pill once they get rid of all of those extra highly refined carbohydrates. Less snoring. We've had partners, not always the men who can come back to the bedroom, but sometimes the women get to come back to the bedroom because they've been snoring so loudly they've had to go to another room. Joint disease, diabetes, heart, cancers, stress levels go down, you increase in HDL, the healthy cholesterol, your self-esteem goes up. But you know what, Rick? What is interesting to me is that whenever I show this chart, and the first 14 were scientifically proven, but I had to put in one more because I knew that, you know, you wanted that 15 number, so I just stuck in there, clothes fit better. And every single time I find, when I say to someone, of these 15, which is the most important to you? Oh, Rick, it's always clothes fit better. Well, here's Sherry. Sherry started in January of 2013 at 140 pounds. She had tried many diets over the years. She had gotten into the whole medicalization of, you know, women's health. She was using lisinopril for blood pressure for 13 years. She had high cholesterol. So within 90 days, she went from a size 12 down to a 4-6. And the best part of it, as she says, is that her doctor took her off the blood pressure medication and cut her Lipitor in half. Now, key factor here, her doctor took her off the blood pressure medication and cut the Lipitor in half. We always look to our physicians for the validation of, you know, the good kinds of work that we have done. He said, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. She said, you bet I will. The turnaround kit, which is what Sherry used, is 2 meal a day program for weight loss. It's 2 smoothies a day, or you could do 1 smoothie and a meal in a bar. That is so convenient when you're on the run. Each meal, you have one of the metabolic boost tablets, and that will keep the blood sugar stable and the cravings down. In the afternoon, you have your energizing tea, which is going to help increase your metabolism by 30%, increase your fat burning by 30%. We love that. And then a snack bar. This is such a terrific program. It's just somewhere between $8 to $9 a day. When we look at the comparable amount of food that you would need for this 1 month, this is a 1-month supply that we're looking at. If we looked at the comparable amount of food to get the nutrients that are involved here, it would cost you over $1,200. That's really an investment. So the third one is healthy active aging. And what I like to have people do is write a line across the top of their page. On the left side is birth. On the right side is how long do you expect to live, and put a number there. Wherever your X comes, the X would be what age you are now. So say from birth, and you decided you wanted to live to 100, you were 50, your X would go in the middle of the line. I think you can work that one out. The Y is the age at which you think someone else is going to have to take care of you. We call that the infirm age. Now, everybody tells me their Y is going to be right next to that little end of life sign. But then when I start asking questions, it becomes a little different. So the first question we would ask would be, if you exercise less than 5 times a week, 30 minutes a day, and you're not doing any strength training, we do expect you to do strength training 2 to 3 times a week, then you would move your Y to the left 9 years. That means 9 years earlier, someone's going to have to start taking care of you. If you're 15 pounds or more over your ideal weight, move your Y to the left 10 to 12 years. And if you consistently sleep less than 7 to 8 hours a night, move your Y to the left 3 years. What happens is all of these kinds of indications, we won't go into all of them, but there are so many things that will indicate that the choices you're making today are going to affect your health at the end of your life. Not only at the end of your life, but right now, every single day. And my thing is, the quality of life isn't the number of years we live, it's the number of healthy years. So how are we going to get some of that health? Right here we have the prescription for healthy life. Again, you see our friends, the Cinch I have here. It's the Shaklee 180 Smoothie and the Vitalizer. And then we're going to add two more really important products from Shaklee, a very, very unique product from Shaklee called Vivex. It is the anti-aging cellular tonic. This one works at the very cellular level of your body. The kinds of responses that we have heard about this range from everything from a reduction of migraine headaches to, healthier nails, or the diminution of varicose veins to people who've had some relief from Parkinson's disease. Will it work for everybody? We don't know, because what's happening is that Vivex is building your health from the cell out. And when you think about the cell is the most important part of our body, clearly. And there's only two things that affect it. It would be, inadequate nutrition and toxins. So when we're giving all these wonderful parts of the prescription for healthy life, we're giving adequate nutrition. The Nutriferon I totally love. It is the immune system builder. And the interesting thing, Rick and I could both tell all of you, is that as we speak to Olympic athletes, the ones that Shaklee is sponsoring, their favorite product is Nutriferon because they are exposed. Think of it. They're on the airplanes all the time. They're not getting enough sleep. They're in crowded conditions. Their stress levels are enormous. It takes in a huge, huge toll on their bodies. They cannot possibly put their careers at a risk by taking things that could show up on a drug test. So the Nutriferon has been absolutely wonderful for them. Well, I'm not an Olympic athlete, but I am a person who wants to live a healthy life, and Nutriferon is a part of my daily routine. So this is healthy, active aging. Personally, my goal is kayak all over the world, from Florida to Alaska to Costa Rica to Nicaragua. You name it, I've been there. I love kayaking, and that's something, it's a great sport, and it's a part of my Healthy Active Aging program. I can't leave this talk without talking about the Shaklee difference. If you've been around Shaklee for more than 20 minutes, you know that it's always safe, it always works, and it's always green. I like having the knowledge that my company is testing beginning products, the middle of the process, and the end product. That's very, very important to me. Well, what are some additional strategies that can help women live younger, longer? Michael Pollan says, in defense of food, eat food, not much, mostly plants. If you've been around at all, you know the diet that you want to choose, and it should be a healthy one. Sleeping, 7 to 8 hours a night. Do you know that sleeping just 1.5 hours less for one night reduces your daytime alertness by as much as 32%. Your immune system will be depressed if you are not sleeping enough. Your heart health will be impacted if you are not sleeping enough. Your memory will definitely be impacted if you're not sleeping enough. And your body weight can be helped because your leptin, which is the hormone that makes you feel full, will be increased, and the ghrelin, the one I always say, ghrelin, the one that says my stomach is growling, I want food, is decreased. So this is an important, important thing. If you're not sleeping 7 to 8 hours a night, please work toward getting there. Exercise, we all know about exercise, but my thing about exercise is do something that you love. Because if you love it and you look forward to it, you will do it. So whether you're very, very sedentary right now, start to move just a little bit, and then continue to add in, if you are exercising already, a great round of congratulations to you, because as you saw, that will help you stay healthier longer on that lifeline scale. Some things that most people aren't aware of is how important water is. I know we all know you're supposed to drink it, but do we realize that 75% of us are chronically dehydrated? We think we're hungry when we're just thirsty, and that mild dehydration can slow our metabolism as much as 3%. What I know when I work with senior citizens is that when we get them hydrated, oftentimes their memory lapses will start to improve, that they're not having as much difficulty focusing, that their energy is up. The number one cause of fatigue is lack of water. It's so important to be drinking that water. And people say, but Nidra, I can't remember. I can't remember to drink my water. So we said we have a mantra, water out, water in. Every time you go to the bathroom, drink a glass of water. You will find that it's much easier to hydrate when you have that little mantra. So if I've given you one thing tonight, I hope it's water out, water in. Stress is another thing that really seems to cause or aggravate so many health problems, pain of any kind, heart disease, digestive problems, sleep problems, depression, obesity, autoimmune. It's either caused or aggravated by long-term stress. Even eczema, some people say, that's really amazing. We have to understand that our body is a network of organs and systems, and that what happens to one happens all across the board. So this wonderful, wonderful stress relief complex of the two amino acids, L-theanine and L-tyrosine, that seems to be an oxymoron, doesn't it? It's relaxation and alertness, but it's absolutely true. When your body is more relaxed, you can be more focused. When your anxiety is decreased, you will definitely have a calm feeling. The beta-sitosterol is going to blunt that overproduction of cortisol, and the ashwagandha, that wonderful 2,000-year history of being used as an herbal nerve tonic. We know that this combination is a winner, and we highly, highly recommend you use that. So what do women want? They want more energy. And how they can get that? From the Shaklee Lean and Healthy. They want a trim and fit body. That will come from the Shaklee 180 turnaround. And the Healthy Active Aging comes from your Shaklee prescription for healthy life. Well, for me, I decided that adopting all these strategies, rest, good breakfast, reduce stress, eating a diet high in plants, and adding a high quality nutritional supplementation would give me that energy that I desire to challenge myself physically and mentally. I like going out and climbing, and it's an enjoyable experience to be able to say, I'm tired in a really, really good way, and then to know that your energy bounces right back, and the next day you can go out and do that all over again. That is what I wish for all of you, more energy, a trim and fit body, and healthy active aging. How are we going to get that? We know that Shaklee is going to help us. We work in a cooperative way with our Shaklee Nutrition to provide a healthier life for everyone and a better life for anyone. Thank you so much for inviting me. I really enjoyed speaking with all of you tonight, and thanks, Rick, for a great opportunity.
Nidra, that was incredibly valuable information. I so appreciate you putting that together, because one of the things that I decided years ago is I wanted to die young at a very old age. And your emphasis on the quality of life, I think, is as significant as anything we can talk about. And when you think about the statistics and you look at the landmark study, we come to realize that if we could just get everybody in the country to listen to this and do something about it, we wouldn't have a health care crisis. I mean, I know you figured out, we figured out years ago, if you prevent it, you don't have to cure it. And that's what Shaklee's been about for many, many years. So, Nidra, thank you again so much for that information, and thank you all for joining us.
My pleasure, Rick. Thank you.